Hello, my name is Lara Napasa. I'm the lead career peer ambassador here at San Diego Mesa College Career Center. Today, I'm going to be presenting about how to craft a compelling cover letter. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. Let's get started. So, our agenda for today, I'll tell a little bit about myself. We'll go over some learning objectives for this workshop presentation. We will also go over what is a cover letter. A lot of you may not have experience writing a cover letter or haven't heard about it at all. That's what we're going to go through over today. A big chunk of today's workshop is about how to format your cover letter. I have some career resources as well that I'm going to share towards the end of this presentation, and I have poor cover letter examples, so you know what not to do when you're writing your cover letter. And let's move on. So a little bit about myself. My name is Lara Napasa. As I've mentioned, I'm a lead career peer ambassador here at the Career Center. I graduated Mesa in fall 2020 or summer 2020, and I started my career as a nursing major, as a transfer nursing student at San Diego State University in fall 2020. I am now graduating this December from the program at SDSU. So I've been at Mesa for a while throughout my undergraduate years, and I love working here. I love helping students. And yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. Hopefully I get to finish my degree this year and work as a labor and delivery nurse, help deliver babies. That's kind of my ultimate goal. All right, enough about me. Let's go over our learning outcomes. So for today's presentations, I expect that participants will be able to identify how to format a cover letter. I also would like for participants to utilize career resources to select which skills are most relevant to the job posting. One key thing that I will be reiterating in today's presentation is that writing a cover letter is very intentional. It should be always tailored to the job you're applying for and to any job posting that you are looking forward and applying to. So we'll go into that in more detail in just a few moments. Right. So what is a cover letter? It's basically a one-page document that is occasionally requested by an employer when you're applying for a job, and it highlights your interest in the position. So I would really compare it to an essay a lot of the time. It's like an essay version of your resume, but you go in so much more detail into it, and you go give examples about what qualities and skills that you bring to the company that you can offer. And the question here a lot of times is, so what, right? So what in your resume that you have leadership skills? So how are you able to show your leadership skills through what experiences? And those are the big key things that you want to answer in your cover letter. And this shows so much more personality just in general. And it talks a little bit more about your passion. You can go more into kind of giving a little bit of your personal touch in a cover letter compared to a standard resume. And so you want to make sure you stand out. And we'll go over the cover letter formatting first. So I like to compare it to a Krabby Patty. You have a little icon there. You have the top bun, which is your introduction. You have your meat, which is your tomato, lettuce, and your, all of that meaty goodness inside, and that's your body paragraph. And then you have your bottom bun, which is your conclusion. So in general, or just kind of a general idea, that a cover letter has 3 paragraphs, kind of a standard format, but you can always kind of cut up that meaty part into 2 if it's kind of too chunky, so you can have 4 paragraphs. I would say nothing more than 4, I personally recommend, just because it can go over to a second page. We want to keep our cover letter to one document, one page. So that's kind of the goal for when you write a cover letter and a resume, to keep them all in one page. The reasoning is because a lot of recruiters really receive thousands of applications in a day, hundreds. And so you want to keep it as simple, as straight to the point, short and sweet. It gets you the job, and you want to make sure all the important details are in one page. They only skim and scan through one page on average is like 6 to 7 seconds even. It's not a lot of time. So you want to make sure you maximize the time that they spend on your application. So moving on, our paragraph 1 will go kind of dissect each part of the cover letter. So paragraph 1 is your introduction. This part answers the questions who you are, to introduce yourself, how you heard about the job. A lot of companies like when you tell a little bit more about where you heard about this opportunity. Is it Indeed? Is it LinkedIn? Is it from a referral from the current employees? So that's already like a big plus if you know someone from that company that works there and that kind of told you about that job. You can always mention their name. Why you want the job. Think of your career goals. Think of how they align with this particular job, by instance. So those are the key things that you want to think about. Towards the end of your first paragraph, you want to give a little preview about what you can offer to the company. So about like 3 to 4 skills, and always communicate how you want to use your skills in the position you're applying for. So how, right? You always want to go into detail, explain these things. In each slide, or majority of the slides that I have in this presentation, I have like a little mental word bank. So these are phrases that you can use in terms of like having a structure or starting a structure for your sentences, or the ideas that we want to make sure are in those paragraphs. So for example, for your introduction, you can start it off by, I'm excited to share my interest in this position after finding it through, all those platforms that you want to include. And then, for example, your skills, you can list them as my skill 1, skill 2, skill 3 will position me to excel as position at what company. So you always want to be intentional. That's why you want to include the name of the company and the position they're applying for, so they know that you're applying specifically for that position. So yeah, moving on, this is our body paragraph. So paragraph 2 to 3, I'd say, is again the body. It's the meaty part, right? And you want to make sure that you communicate your personal and professional story, how they kind of intervene, how they interlock with each other, to make sure that you stand out. Think about why you're passionate about this opportunity, how you started your interest in this particular field. So it can be stemming from really personal experiences, communicating those to that hiring manager. So you want to answer the questions, how and where have you demonstrated the skills that you provided, the skills that you listed. So you want to give examples, specific examples from your experiences in your job right now, maybe from volunteering, maybe from a class you took. So this is a lot of deep reflection within yourself and with the experiences that you've had in the past. You want to provide specific details, as I've mentioned. So it can be like any personal experiences, any quantities, any numbers you can provide. Those are always great. Now, think of always, how do these skills relate to what you're able to do for that company that you're applying for? So this is where you want to do a little bit of your research, because you want to know what the company culture is. You want to know what they value, what are their core principles, what do they stand for? And you want to make sure that the skills you're mentioning in your cover letter are a big part of those principles and core values, because those are really what they're looking for in terms of an employee, because they want to make sure employees in their company fit in and that they belong. So you want to make sure that you highlight that you belong, that you're the perfect person for this job, and then you explain how. So that's key thing to remember, is to always make sure that you have relevant skills that you can apply to this position. And so our conclusion, paragraph 4, is what I also call the call to action kind of paragraph. This is because you can direct here, you can direct the employer here to where they can find more information about you. So you can say that you've included your resume and references are upon request, or any other requested documents that they have in particular. You can kind of, this section is where you can direct them. I would say this is the last part where you can clearly state what you would like for the next steps to be. So for example, along the lines of, I look forward to discussing how I can benefit your company in a formal interview at your convenience, right? So that's giving a little call to action, a little pressure to that hiring manager to, give you a chance, get your foot in that door. So you also want to communicate how can you be of value to the employer. At the end of the day, this is, business is a job, so they want to make sure that they're investing in a great candidate. They're investing in you as an employee to bring value to their company. So think of the mission and the vision of the company. Like I mentioned, their core values, what do they really stand for? So those are key things you want to include in your paragraph 4. Those are really important ideas. I have bullet points. This presentation is available on our San Diego Mesa College Career Center. So if you look through our website, you are able to find this copy of this presentation where you can always refer to when you write your cover letter. Or if you're writing your cover letter right now, I hope this is a great guide for you. All right. Let's go over to some poor examples. I want to just make sure that we are aware of what not to do when you're writing your cover letter. So for example, I think I have 2 or 3. This is the first one. So dear Jane, I'm excited to submit my application for the open content marketing manager role. I have 15 years of experience working with content, including staying up to date with search engine optimization, best practices, performing content audits, and leading a team of editors. I love the opportunity to speak with you about this position. ABC Company seems like a fantastic place to work, and I think I could bring great value to the team. Sincerely, Ray Roberts. So one thing that Ray Robertson could definitely have included is their second paragraph. Where's their body? Where's them explaining how they're able to show their skills, their leadership skills, right? Their organization skills. They mentioned those in the first paragraph, but they never went into detail. So that's one key thing. Definitely could tell a little bit more about their personal story and how it conveys and how it interlocks with their professional story too, to give a little bit of that personality in this cover letter example. So those are a few things. There's definitely a lot more we could point out. So in particular, the first paragraph, they really didn't say where they heard about this opportunity, stuff like that. So those are big key things that we're missing in this one. So the big meaty paragraph, you want to make sure you have that. Okay, yeah, so I did go in detail. So what's missing in action? That's second paragraph. That first paragraph did include the company name, where they heard about the job, and how to always tie it back to the position. And in the last paragraph, they're missing their contact info. You'll want to make sure you reiterate that at the end of your paragraph. The company mission, vision, and a little thank you phrase won't hurt. Now, this is, I think, the second example and the last example. And I didn't go in depth to this because it's obviously comes out really aggressive, really rude. Just reading a line from it, it says, I won't pretend that your company's mission is my passion, but I do think sales are interesting and you seem to have a strong background per your LinkedIn page. If you hire me, I'll show up for the hours you expect me to and do what's asked, and you'll like me. Let's face it, that puts me 100 ahead of 99% of the applicants already. So that seems a little too confident. And that overall, this cover letter is just really poor because it doesn't send out that professional tone, first of all. The structure is wrong. It's just sent in an email. So you always want to have your cover letter in a PDF format. So to make it professional. And again, the ending of this cover letter, get back to me if you're looking for someone who you'll actually enjoy working with. That is definitely not professional. So this is a big no-no. Just please don't be this candidate at all. Okay, so I have some career resources that I do want to go over. These are resources that we always share with our students. So ONET Online, I would say it's how I would describe it. So I can go and open up. All of these resources are linked in this presentation, so you can easily access that. But ONET Online is like a career encyclopedia. So for example, you can look for a particular job. So electrician, and search enter, and here it's going to give you a results page. So it can be like exactly what you typed for, or if not, the closest match. You click on it, it's going to give you a really great summary report, and it gives you a general idea of what an electrician does on a day-to-day basis, what their job consists of. So these are great kind of ideas into making sure that you tailor your job to what they actually do. And then going back, sorry about that. So that's just an example of a career resource. We have our YouTube channel where we definitely post these recordings that you're watching right now for our workshops and other important kind of resources for our students. We have our Career Center website. You can always explore that in your own time. Our Career Peer Ambassador program, which I am one of the Career Peer Ambassadors. We help students anything career-wise. You need help with your cover letter writing, you need help with resume, with job search, with interview preparation. Those are the big key things that we help students with. So if you're writing your cover letter and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, or I don't even know how to write a cover letter, we're here to help you. We're here to guide you, to work with you one-on-one in the meeting. It can be in person, it can be through Zoom or email or phone call, and we're here to support you. And if you just need someone extra set of eyes to look and give you feedback, then we can also provide that. In addition, we have a great career counselors that can help you definitely with a more variety of resources. So if you need help with career exploration, if you want to take career assessments to figure out what career works best for you, then a career counselor is the best kind of person to go to. But they also help with career resources that career ambassadors provide, like resume, cover letter, interview prep, all of those good stuff. So those are our career resources. I have here flyers that are also linked. So if you hover them, you can click on them, but this directs to our website. And here's a little step-by-step process of how you could start your career, but also how to make an appointment with a career peer ambassador. So I hope that we see you soon. We see you through meetings. We get to connect with us, and we're here to support you, like I mentioned. To end off this presentation, I will just share a little bit of this video. All right. Is sharing. Let me just make sure the sound is sharing as well. Okay. All right.
AKA it's Wingman. Together they work wonders, because what the cover letter does is set up the resume by highlighting what makes you a great fit for the job. It shows your personality with 3 concise paragraphs that should be readable in around 10 seconds or less. So, how do you write a cover letter? Let me walk you through one. Literally. Let's say you're applying for an engineer job. Don't forget your header. Date, name, address, contact info, all that jazz. Kick it off with a greeting to address the hiring manager. If you can, find out their name. If you can't, stick with this. The attention getter. The opening paragraph. Introduce yourself and enthusiastically tell the employer why you're applying for the job. Include why you're excited and how the job lines up with your career goals. Avoid sounding formulaic by adding keywords from the job posting. The middle paragraph. Dig into your most relevant experience and talk about the specific qualifications and skills that make you the perfect candidate. Oh, and feel free to pause and read when you need to. I've only got so long. Where was I? Right. Make connections between your previous accomplishments. Employers will likely have read your resume already, so avoid repeating the bullet points. Instead, deeply illustrate those highlights. To close the curtain, thank the employer. You can also make any clarifications, for example, any major gaps in employment history. Then, provide a complimentary close and signature that's friendly yet formal, followed by your name. Well, I think that's everything. Remember that the small...
All right, well, that is a little ender for our presentation. I have here our last slide for my contact information. So if you have any questions for me, make sure you email me. Here's my email. It's lnapasa@sdccd.edu. And you can also email our career center if you want to make an appointment or if how we can further provide you with our services. It's mesacareer@sdccd.edu. Our phone number, give us a call at 619-388-2777. And follow us through our social media. Keep updated with any events that we have or any kind of job postings we post on there. So I hope to see you soon and thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day.